Hello everybody. So today you're going to work on an assignment where we're going to practice calculating either speed or distance or time. Now, if you'll remember, the equation for speed is speed equals distance divided by time. But if we use the triangle method, we can actually find either of the other two variables as well, and the triangle will tell us what to do mathematically. So if you're looking for the speed is distance over time. Look at this, distance over time. So this bar means to divide, okay? Now this line right here means to multiply. So for example, if you're looking for the distance, put your finger over the D. To get the distance, you're going to take the speed and multiply by the time, okay? If you want the time, look at the D and the S and how they're separated. You're going to take the distance and divide by the speed to get the time. So whatever variable you're looking for, cover it up, and then the triangle tells you what to do with the other two variables to get the quantity that you want. Okay? So let's practice doing that. And remember, we have to show our work when we are doing problems. All right, so here we go. Look right here. The first example here, it says, determine the distance traveled by a car that travels at a constant speed of 60 miles an hour for 5 hours. Notice what it says right here. Step 1, identify the knowns and the unknowns. So that's what we're going to do. So let's identify 60 miles an hour. That's the speed. So I'm going to write it down so I know what it is. All right, 5 hours. Now we know hours, that's a measure of time. So T equals 5 hours. So now we've identified the given information. Now what are we trying to find? Well, it says determine the distance. So we want to know what is D. So we've got the knowns and the unknown. Now, step 2 says cover the unknown variable in the triangle and write down what to do with the other two. We want the distance. So we're going to cover the D, and it tells us to take the speed and multiply by the time. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the speed and multiply by the time because that's what that said. Now, step 3, plug in the numbers and chug out the answer. Write it down with the unit. So, we're going to say D equals, the speed was the 60, times the time, which was hours. Notice you have an hours in the numerator and an hours in the denominator. So those are going to cancel and leave you with miles, which is a measure of distance. So we're doing this right. Now, 5 times 6 is 30, plus the 0, that's going to be 300 miles. Okay? So there's our answer with unit. Now that wasn't so tough, was it? All right? Don't forget, you can also go back and look at the video from last week of the notes. We did 3 examples in that video, so you can go back and look at those too. Look at this one. It says, how long does it take for a baseball to travel 30 meters if the pitcher gives it a speed of 28 meters per second? So let's first identify the knowns and unknowns. Meters, that's distance. It's traveling a distance of 30 meters. Okay? And right down here, 28 meters per second, that would be the speed. It even says speed of. Okay, so the speed is 28 meters per second. What are we trying to find? How long? That would be the time. We want to know how long did it take to travel that distance. All right, so step 2, now we need to know how to manipulate our formula so that we actually have T equals what? All right, so since we're trying to find the time, we want T equals what? So we come back up here, cover the T, we get distance divided by speed. So we're going to write that down over here. Distance divided by the speed. So now we take our information and plug it in. 30 meters for the distance divided by 28 meters per second for the speed. All right, the meters are going to cancel because the second is in the denominator inside a denominator, okay? It's in a denominator that's in a denominator. That's kind of funny. It's going to pop up to the top, so we're going to end up with 30 divided by 28 with units of seconds, which is time. So right here, we take our calculator. I can't divide as easily as I multiply, so we're going to have to do it this way. So we get 30. Can you all see that? Oh, there, now you can. 30 divided by 28, and that's going to give us, oh, look at that, 1.07. Okay, so if we go with 2 digits, that would be 1.1, wouldn't it, if we round it? The 7 would round the 0 to a 1. So that'd be 1.1 seconds. Ta-da! Well, actually, step 3 is this part right there. Okay, I should have brought it down a little more, but I didn't. That's okay. All right, so there's the 2 examples, and if you want, you can go back and review the notes because we did 3 examples there as well. Now, you're going to apply this process to these 10 practice problems. You need to be good at using the speed formula, speed equals distance over time, and let the triangle help you, all right? Now, I don't believe I have any conversions on here except, I thought there was one. Yeah, just right here at the very bottom. Now, don't forget, notice they're giving you the speed in meters per second, but the time in minutes. Now, we can't use minutes, especially not when this uses seconds. But now remember, it's easy. You know there's 60 seconds for each of those minutes, isn't there? So that means 10 minutes times 60 seconds for each minute, you're going to get 600 seconds. So there it is in seconds. So now you can do that problem too very easily because you've got the time and you've got the speed and how far you can find the distance. Okay? All right, guys. Let's have at it today and get her done. All right, bye-bye.